then, Alessandro mio, a bit more after dinner. It took almost 20 minutes before they could sit down, at one of the tables up against the wall. Bruno told the waiter to bring some bread and a litre of local white, and 4 suppli, and 4 filetti di baccala. Alex had his elbows on the table, waiting for Bruno to tell him to shift them, feeling in the mood for a fight. Nothing too serious, a touch of friction to remind them both that Alex had a mind and body, and not just body, of his own. He was still smarting from being called Alessandro, his real despised name, although it might have been worse. Bruno might have said Sandro, as Alex's mother always did. His earlobe was warm, almost sore, from the pressure of Bruno's fingers, the edge of his broken nicotine-yellowed nail. Alex was wearing a T-shirt he'd bought that day, white with Greek letters round the neck. But Bruno, the only person he knew who could read what they said, didn't seem to have noticed. Alex lit the final Winston from the packet he'd found in the car, scrunching the empty carton with his free hand, while Bruno picked up one of the paper napkins from the marble tabletop and took out a pen, an expensive real nib job with a gold clip. Montblanc? Maybe not, judged Alex, but not far off. Bruno scrawled a row of dashes in red-brown ink on the paper, divided into 2 groups by an oblique stroke. "Come on," he said. "A famous person." "What?" "A famous person. Big-time famous. An international name. Give me a letter, any letter." "I don't understand you," said Alex. "Why can't we just talk? I mean, you don't have to amuse me. I can amuse myself. I'm not just a pretty face, you know." Bruno looked gloomy. "You're right," he said. He pushed out his lower lip until Alex could see the wet, red-grey part inside and tilted his head towards his shoulder, a parody of self-reproof. "I hate myself. I'm scared you might find me boring." This made them both laugh, to Alex's surprise. Bruno capped and put away his pen and watched while Alex grew calm and silent. With Bruno's eyes on him, he glanced around at the other tables, at the travertine-covered walls. "You can see why it's called the mortuary, can't you? They don't actually wash the place, you know that?" Bruno shuddered. "They hose the drying blood off the walls. And the tables, it's the marble, really, isn't it? That's really why they call it the mortuary. Perfect for the odd cadaver or two." As soon as the waiter had left the plates of suppli and salt cod, and the carafe of wine and basket of bread, Alex said, "They're all ex-boxers, in case of trouble." "I thought that was that other pizzeria down the road." Alex looked over Bruno's shoulder towards the street with an unexpected sense of being out of place. He wished he hadn't agreed to see Bruno that evening. Wondered what other kind of life he might be living instead of this, and with whom? His equal, perhaps. He nodded. "Right." Using his rejected hangman napkin, Bruno picked up a finger of cod. He bit into it, then gasped, spitting a scrap of batter onto his plate. "Christ, this is hot," he said, blowing it out. "I've just burned my fucking mouth." He held out a clean square of paper to Alex. "Try one." "In a minute," said Alex, "when they've cooled down a bit." "You're such a wise young man," said Bruno. "I'd trust you with anything, I really would." "Yes, right. No, seriously, I mean it," said Bruno. And he did sound serious, Alex decided, taking another piece of baccala and blowing on it. He isn't a bad man, he thought. I could do worse. He's well connected, at least. "What do you mean, anything?" "In fact," said Bruno. "Yes?" Bruno poured them both some wine. "This stuff always reminds me of urine samples," he said. "Not that I see that many. It ought to be the other way round." "Yes?" repeated Alex, biting. Hot oil squirted from beneath the batter onto his tongue. He would never learn, he thought, from the mistakes of others. He would never wait quite long enough. He wasn't made like that. This thought, that he might be doomed, gave him comfort. He felt like Jim Morrison, James Dean, pleased by the prospect of an early death. He swigged a mouthful of cooling, slightly apple-tasting wine, hangover guaranteed.